May, Sunday. First of all, this is a journal, not a diary. More of a log of events, actually. Ever since the incident, Mom figured it would be best for me to write down what happens every day in case my memory gets a bit fuzzy. I don't exactly remember what happened. All I know is I got a head injury at my birthday party, and I've been in a coma for the past 3 years. Yes, 3 years. And all I got is a lousy bandage to show for it. I couldn't help but notice how quiet the place was. I ended up spending most of the day in bed, and Mom said I couldn't play any video games for at least a week, which really ticked me off since there wasn't anything else to do. Also, I haven't seen Manny or Roderick all day, which is weird because I really thought they would have bothered me by now. I think I'll ask Mom where they are tomorrow. I'm honestly just enjoying the time to myself while it lasts. Monday. Turns out Manny went missing about a year ago. Dad says he got Manny some ice cream at his job, and then a giant seagull came down and took him. I'm not sure how likely it is for something like that to happen. I'm not sure if Mom even believes it either. At least it answers why Mom now seems to hate that Peachy Breeze commercial more than Dad does. As for Roderick, Mom says he got a job and moved away. Dad says he hopes he never comes back. I get they never really got along, but that seems a bit harsh. Also, I really doubt that Roderick is able to keep a job for this long, or is able to function without Mom and Dad always doing stuff for him. I feel like I'm being lied to. Oh, Dad still works at that pizza place he founded with Mr. Jefferson, Freddy Fazbears Pizzeria or something. They have another one in development, so he has to work extra hours at nighttime. They've gone through a bunch of restaurants over the years. Riley and I have had at least one birthday party at each of them. I can't say I'm a fan. Those robot things are really creepy. Anyway, they keep getting closed down because a bunch of accidents keep happening at them. Mr. Jefferson always blamed Dad for them, which I could tell was pissing him off. I don't have much reason to believe it, but I feel like that pizzeria might be the reason I got put in a coma. I can't say why. The place just gives me a weird feeling. Sometimes, I think those animatronics are waiting for me in the night. Thursday. Good news! Mom said I can hang out with Riley today since the school got shut down for whatever reason. It'll be cool seeing my old friend again. I doubt he's changed that much. Okay, Riley is a lot quieter than I remembered. He was happy to see me, of course, but he seemed pretty on edge. I wonder what spooked him. Anyway, Mrs. Jefferson said she'd take us to the pizzeria today, but Riley was against the idea. No thanks. It was weird. Riley usually loved Fazbears, especially those robot things. He claimed it was because he'd prefer playing outdoors, but I could tell he was lying. I was not going to argue with him though. I really hate hanging around that place. Riley started telling me about all the crazy stuff that happened at middle school. He said there was this thing called the cheese touch, where whoever touched this moldy piece of cheese would basically become a social pariah. Apparently, one kid ate it, and that's why the school had to be shut down. Who would be dumb enough to do that? I ended up asking why he was so keen on avoiding Fazbears, and after dodging the question for around 5 minutes, he gave me an actual answer. Shrog went missing there last month. Apparently the place is haunted. Shrog was some scrawny kid I used to go to school with, until I went into a coma. I can't believe he went missing. And at Fazbears? How come Dad never mentioned anything about it? Riley told me how Mr. Jefferson had to work overtime because of all the legal issues it caused. I feel bad for the guy. Riley said he's been getting nightmares about the place. He's worried Mr. Jefferson might go missing next. I told him that's ridiculous, since Mr. Jefferson owns the place, so he knows everything that goes on there. I'm still scared though, Greg. What if the ghost comes after us? What ghost? Riley said a bunch of kids went missing over the past 3 years at the Fazbear place. A rumor started in his middle school that a ghost possessed one of the old costumes and is using it to hunt down whatever kid strays too far from the party. They call it the Spring Bonnie, since it looks like the Bonnie robot and started happening around springtime. The story kind of freaked me out a bit, but I can't let Riley know that. I know there was only one option left to get him to stop crying about it. Hey, maybe if you come stay at my place, the ghost won't find us. Really? I told him that since I was in a coma, the ghost probably didn't know I existed, so it won't come after us. Besides, I need someone to distract it if it ever shows up. Mom was so happy that I was back to my normal self, that she actually let Rowley and me play some rounds of Twisted Wizard before bed. Not to brag or anything, but I'm still a beast at that game. Anyway, Rowley and I had to sleep in the basement, and let me tell you, that was not a good idea. It all started when we heard something knocking around upstairs, which threw Rally into a panic about the ghost coming for us. I tried to calm him down, but to be honest, I was a little scared too. The stories never mentioned anything about the ghost breaking into kids' houses, but that wasn't a chance I was willing to take. Just then, we heard some pretty heavy rabbit-like footsteps upstairs and completely freaked out. While we were panicking, the door swung open, and I guess we must have woke Dad up with all the noise. What's all this racket? It's Spring Bonnie! Run! Anyway, I explained to Dad that a ghost had broken into our house and was going to kill us all. He didn't seem too scared by that, so I told him we heard footsteps upstairs, and that proved it was real. That was me going to the bathroom, Greg. Oh well. Then he asked us what ghost we were talking about, and I told him that Rally told me a bunch of kids went missing after meeting the Spring Bonnie, which, allegedly, haunts his restaurant. He didn't seem very impressed. Dad gave Rally this really mean look. So, you've been spreading stories about my business. No, sir. What would your father think if he heard you two trashing his restaurant? He then told us to go back to bed and stop talking about the Spring Bonnie. At least I managed to convince Rally that the ghost thing wasn't real and that he didn't have to worry about it. He seemed thankful for that. Still though, Rally and I didn't get much sleep last night. Monday. So after Rally left, he told me that he wanted me to come to some kid called Bryce's birthday party. Honestly, I think I'm too old for that kind of thing. But Mom insisted that I go as a way to thank Rally for helping me recover or whatever. But really, Rally should be thanking me for helping him get over his fear of the place. I was planning on getting to level 215 on Twisted Wizard today, but life seemed to have other plans. Mom says I should go over to Grandma's to help her out with chores and stuff, since it'd be better than lying around all day. I'm not too thrilled with the idea, and I don't think Dad is either, but he seems to be worried about something other than my well-being. It'll do him some good, but he might be there. She said he's staying at a friend's house. Honestly, Frank, stop being so paranoid. I won't lie, the vagueness is freaking me out a bit. Also, I'd much prefer to hang out with Rally today, but he's still stuck at school. And I am not hanging around the Jeffersons until he gets back. Would you like some prune juice? Dad offered to drive me there, but Mom thought the fresh air would do me some good. I honestly think a drive would be better since it meant less pressure on my legs, but I was practically being shoved out of the door. Anyway, I managed to reach Grandma's house without much issue, but when I knocked on the door, it was answered by someone I never expected. It was Roderick? Roderick didn't say anything for a while. He was frowning, but I could tell he was surprised to see me. I didn't say anything either. What the hell was I even supposed to say? He soon shuffled out of the way and I followed him in. He motioned for me to sit on the couch next to him. I was nervous. I had a bad feeling, but I couldn't explain it, like I was committing some kind of crime behind my parents' back. I assumed it was time to talk. Mom said you got a job and moved out. I got a job like a week ago. Oh, how long have you been living here? About 3 years. 3 years? Isn't that how long I was out for? Listen, Greg, you're not supposed to be around me. If Mom and Dad find out, they'd totally flip. Just go home and tell them Grandma wasn't here. Got it? Wait! I haven't seen you in 3 years and you're kicking me out? What's your problem? Roderick sighed. I had a feeling he wasn't living here by choice. And what did he do 3 years ago for all of this to happen? Look, there's a lot they're keeping from you, alright? And there's a lot I can't tell you. Not with him around. With who around? Quit being vague! He sighed again, staring at the floor. Then his eyebrows lowered and he looked at me with a weird sense of regret. It was Dad who kicked me out, alright? And I'm not allowed to go back. I can't go into the details right now. Why not? Because you'd hate me. Another silence grew between us. I was about to ask him something again when he tossed me some toy-looking phone and told me to call him by pressing the home button if I needed to, and to only contact him when Mom and Dad aren't around. I wondered why he didn't use something better, because it's cheaper. By the time I got back, Dad had already gone to his night job, and I told Mom the lie Roderick made up. Oh, right. I forgot she had that day trip planned. She then asked why I was out for so long. I lied again, and said I went to the library to catch up on my education or whatever. She seemed ecstatic to hear that, thankfully. She went to the kitchen to get me some snacks as a reward, but she ended up getting distracted. Just my luck. "Oh dear, looks like your father left his work bag behind." So instead of giving me a reward for my efforts, Mom left to go give Dad his briefcase back, like he wouldn't survive one night without it. Whatever. I'm going to bed. Tuesday. Well, I couldn't find Mom anywhere. I asked Dad about it, and he said she had to go run some errands. I couldn't get that visit with Roderick out of my mind. Why was he completely banned from seeing me? Why did he get kicked out? Why does Dad hate him all of a sudden? Well, I wasn't going to get any answers by asking questions, that's for sure. Time to investigate. I managed to find a book of Roderick's old pictures in his room. After sifting through a bunch of toilet-papered houses, I finally found something. It was a picture of me in a hospital bed. I'm sorry, Greg. This is weird. This is so weird. Did Roderick have something to do with me ending up in a coma? I decided to sneak into Mom and Dad's room to check out the family photo album in case I'm missing something. There was a picture in there of me from 3 years ago. It was me and my family at Fazbears Pizzeria. Only something has been ripped out. Gregory's 10th birthday party. I was about to get the hell out of there. Then I saw something drop off the bed from under Mom's pillow. It was a crumpled picture of Roderick. I put the torn image against the birthday picture to confirm it. And yep, it was the missing piece from the photo. Now I only had one question. What the hell happened at that birthday party? Wednesday. Okay, something is definitely wrong. Mom's been gone for days. And the worst part is, I'm sure Dad is lying about where she is. I asked him earlier and he said, she's just visiting someone. There's no way she'd take a spontaneous trip without dragging all of us along with her. I could tell he was hiding something, and I knew it had something to do with that other place he worked at. He's always so secretive about that place, and Mom only disappeared after she went to give him his briefcase after he was working there. I made the decision to break into his workplace tonight and see what's up, though I'd better call Roderick for some advice first. I was in luck. Dad told me he had to meet up with Mr. Jefferson since something happened with the restaurant's finances or whatever. This gave me the perfect opportunity to call Roderick and tell him about my great plan. It took a couple tries before he picked up, and I told him how Mom had gone completely missing and that I was sure Dad had something to do with it. When I told him about my plan of sneaking into the sister location, Roderick went dead quiet.
Don't be stupid, Greg. You'd get into serious trouble messing with Dad's business.
You don't understand. Why would he go to such lengths to keep whatever he's doing a secret if it wasn't something bad?
Well, if Mom's in trouble, you'll only be putting yourself in danger by going there. You just got out of a coma, for fuck's sakes, Greg. Don't try anything stupid.
I heard Dad's car pulling into the driveway, so I had to end the call early.
Listen, Greg, call me tomorrow as soon as Dad's away. There's something I need to tell you face to face.
I managed to hide the phone just before Dad got through the door. He seemed pretty mad. Apparently, Mr. Jefferson was making him do all the work around here. Sounds rough. I'm glad Riley will probably end up working for me in the future and not the other way around. I spent all day thinking about what Roderick said, but I decided my idea was probably more effective. The plan was, I was going to hide in the back seat before Dad heads to work. I'd try to find a more secure way there, but to be honest, I'm not really sure where the location is. My main concern is getting left behind somehow and getting stuck in a creepy robot factory overnight. So far, the plan is going without a hitch. Dad somehow didn't notice I was stowing away, which was great for me. Anyway, turns out the sister location was just some warehouse in the middle of nowhere. Let me tell you, Fazbears has really downgraded if this is their big new thing. I had to wait a bit for Dad to leave so he wouldn't see me follow him in. After a while of wandering around, I managed to figure out where he went. I heard music coming from one of the rooms. Apparently, it was where something called Ballora was kept. Whatever that was, maybe he was testing something? I peeked inside, and I could not believe what I saw. Dad was in there with the robot, and he was dancing with it. I don't think I'd ever seen him act like that before. He looked, I don't know, empty, I guess? Nothing behind the eyes type deal. It was creepy. Like I walked in on some freaky nightmare, or one of Fregley's art projects. Then, the music suddenly shut off, and I was really worried he had seen me. He hates it when I get near his animatronic things. Luckily, he didn't seem like he spotted me. He instead went over to the Ballora robot, which was all still and stuff. He then began to pull out something from his back pocket. It was a pair of of glasses. Mom's glasses. I saw him put it on the robot's face. He was laughing. I felt like I was gonna throw up. I didn't care what noise I made. I ran all the way back to the car and hid in there. I don't know if he followed me, or if he knew I followed him, but he came back a few minutes later. He didn't say anything the whole ride home, but I guess he was able to figure out that I was a stowaway. Greg, what were you doing following me to work? You should be in bed. How many times do I have to tell you to stay out of my business? Look, you didn't mess with anything, did you? You didn't see anything. I told him I saw him working on the robot. I didn't mention the glasses. Don't ever follow me to work again, Gregory. I think it's after midnight now. I don't know how the hell I'm supposed to sleep after witnessing that. I can't let him figure out that I saw more than I was supposed to. I think I'm gonna have to start hiding this. Now that was peak fanfiction. I really liked how the story was flowing. The beginning was kind of grounded. It was explaining the world that we're in. Greg was in a coma for 3 years. Bite of 83, anyone? Oh, he definitely got bit. 100%. Fazbear in the back? Yeah, a good chunk of his head's probably missing. And the reveal at the end that Frank is basically William Afton and he killed Susan and made her into an animatronic? Now the story's cooking up. I'm scared for Greg, I'm gonna be honest. Now as far as Roderick goes, we don't know why he got permabanned from his house, but it definitely has something to do with Fazbear at the back over there. But if Frank is, killing his wife and turning her into an animatronic, if Roderick caused Greg to get bit, why would he care that much if he's killing his wife, turning her into an animatronic, and he was dancing with her? He was even laughing, which is nuts. So why would he care so much if Greg got bit? I am so excited for where this story is going. I cannot wait to make a part 2. So if you guys want to see a part 2, make sure to leave a like and comment down below that you do want to see the part 2, and I'll make it as quick as I can. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, of course, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, comment down below, share the video, all of that, and I will see you guys very soon for part 2 of the night shift. Take care and have a great rest of your day, everybody.